Welcome back to another episode of the Talk Raw podcast. I am your host, Glams Tan. I am here with some amazing guests. Now, let me first just say, I'm here with my beautiful cousins, twin cousins. Hey. Big up yourself. Hi. Big up yourself.
What's going on?
You got to introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry, my name's Aaron. Yeah, Aaron Roach Bridgman.
Yes.
I'm Dee. I'm Shan.
And we have the beautiful...
I'm Aisha.
Hey, Aisha. So, thank you all for coming. Yes, we did this. We're finally making this happen. How are you all doing?
Good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
To be here to support my cousin. I was just about to say little cousin. Still not little. But yeah, I'm just glad you've got this platform and you're doing well. So we're here to support.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So, okay. So can everyone just please tag? You have to tag your pages. We have to tag your page where people can find you. Go ahead.
At Aaron Roach Bridgman. Roach, same as a cockroach. And Bridgman, like, that's it. That's my full name. Or just Google it and all my pages and stuff will come up.
Okay. And you?
And on Instagram, it's all_that_ish, ISH_.
Okay.
All that ish, I like that.
All that ish. And then?
I'm not on socials like that, but I think my socials... Divine Goddess?
Yes. Okay. Yes, it is.
Yes. Mine is Shan to win.
Yes.
You can find me on Instagram, but I'm not really on socials like that. But yeah, that's my...
Okay. But big up you lot, Sar. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so got a few scenarios here and questions that were sent in. So we're going to just chop it up. And I just want you guys' honest opinion. We keep it real, it's a talk real. So let's dive into it. Okay, so my husband and I were having a discussion about our children. We can't agree on when the best time would be to have discussions about the birds and the bees. What's the appropriate age for children to start having boyfriends and girlfriends, sleeping over, and obviously, what?
Oh.
So I think the first one would be like the birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees first.
What's
yes, the first, to discuss.
To teach you.
Yeah, to discuss with children,
Oh, I'm still figuring that one out. My parents never had that discussion with me. I ended up learning about it through school. My teachers basically taught that to me. I never had the conversation with my parents. But now that I'm a parent, I don't even know how I would.
Yeah.
I think my son's 10, and I've bought books. I can't remember the name.
Do you?
I can't remember the name of the books, but I've bought them, but I haven't yet delved into...
Okay.
So it's just up in the air at the moment.
Okay.
And I don't want the school to teach him.
Oh, I see.
You know,
you want to be the one.
Yeah, you want to be the one.
Already started, but I know that what I teach would be more positive than what the school will teach.
Okay.
For me, I think my daughter's older now, so it's kind of like when I heard conversations between friends when she was maybe about in high school, like 12. Mm-hmm. Like talking, when I think I heard her mention something, and then I thought, I think this is the right time to start talking to her, because I don't want no influence from friends and stuff like that. So I think she was about 11, 12.
Okay.
But I do believe it could be sooner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's more like intuitive, like there's no like set age, it's more about when it feels right.
You have to know your children kind of.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Okay.
It's a difficult one, man. Like, I'm not going to get into my personal story, but I think, all right, let me try and hit it on a few different angles. All right, so from the first angle is, I guess, people that I've worked with, like young people, because I've worked with thousands and tens of thousands of young people in my time professionally, and there's been all different types of ages where, in fact, there's a boy that I'm working with right now who's 10, and he's over-sexualized. like very, very over sexualized, and I try to play it down. And I know he's just talking from a perspective of what he's heard and nothing that he's doing, but it's like, I don't even really want to have these conversations with you yet, but obviously you're there mentally, so it needs to be had. I remember working in a school where I had a few different, I more worked with young men actually, but I had a few girls that used to come to like my special room, because I had like a little room that was used for dealing with behavior issues.
Okay.
I remember this girl comes in now, and she's like, "Sir, can I come in?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, sir, man, I think I've just done too much too soon." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "Sir, you know what I mean?" I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." What do you mean? And she's like, "You know, I've done it too soon, you know what I mean?" And I'm thinking,
how old is she?
She was 13, 14.
Oh my God.
14 at that time. And so, you know, proceeded the conversation that we had to have about safety, about not feeling pressure, about not trying to be too big before your age.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so forth. So yeah, I think you're right in terms of being intuitive. I think you're right also in terms of knowing your child. I've experienced it with all different age children. Me myself, I started getting interested in sex as young as 11 years old, to be honest myself, like as a young man, but then it kind of scared me. I didn't go back getting interested until I was 14. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, every child is individual, but me personally, I can't, like, even when you said the topic, I was like, bloody hell, like, I didn't even want to think about that. And then staying over. My mum and dad weren't on no staying over thing.
I think mine, no.
I never had that.
It was a sneak staying over, and we had to like had to leave out early before anybody woke up. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I come from a very Caribbean type of way of being raised, and but like old school traditional kind of Caribbean way of being raised, and even I remember when I was young. Sorry to keep talking as well.
No, go ahead.
I remember when I was young, and I think I might have been about 16, and I brought my girlfriend with me to Barbados. I'm from Barbados.
Okay.
And I remember my grand, rest in peace, speaking to my dad, saying to my dad, because we got our own little house in Barbados, and speaking to my dad saying, "I hope you're not making them two sleep in the same room." And she was very, very serious about this. Christian, I come from a very Christian family in Barbados, and I'm thinking to myself, raw, like, why is she onto him like that? You know what I mean? But from her traditional perspective, as a young man who was that age, who was not married yet, we shouldn't be staying in the same room. We need to be in separate rooms. And so, you know, my raising was a bit different. I think there was a lot less leeway for me. I guess me as a new generation, maybe my leeway might be a bit more for my children, but personally, sleeping over is not going to happen. Like we're not having no boy coming and sleeping in my yard, or no guy sleeping in my yard. Nah.
Yeah.
And in terms of sex, I think, if I'm really to answer your question, I think when I start hearing or seeing the inclination from you of having interest, that's when we'll have the conversation. I'm not going to bring it to you and start opening up your mind to this thing when you haven't even thought about it yet. Let children be children until such time.
100%. I agree with that. Definitely.
Saying that, you don't know, like, there could be scenarios at school.
Especially now.
Maybe even come home and tell you that.
Exactly.
Kind of said this to me,
they taught us that before we were ready.
I just feel like I hear that, but I'm going to kind of school her on the do's and don'ts, or what's acceptable. Just light, nothing heavy, until it's that time for her to then get into protection or whatever, but like knowing your
schools,
it depends.
Schools plays a massive part in a lot of things, because they're teaching my children already, and I'm just like, oh my god,
but then
I wasn't ready to, but now I feel like I'm almost being forced to now, because I'm trying to keep them as young as possible. Do you see what I mean? But then there's social media. That's why I don't allow my kids on social media. Remember growing up in our age, obviously not trying to put our age out there, but we didn't have social media. We didn't have none of that. Do you see what I mean? But now kids ain't kids anymore. They're grown. You know, I see sometimes 13, 14-year-old girls all dressed up, all dolled up, and I'm like, skimpy stuff, and I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
But that's the thing. You've got girl children, like, you have to teach them how to have good hygiene, how to protect their body. Like even my daughter didn't really go and sleep at anybody's house, even if they were family or not. But you have to have that conversation who washes you, not any
No one
anybody,
loves to
just
touch
me.
you.
When you go over to your dad's and stays at your dad's house or whatever not, you know, just teaching her how to deal with things for herself. Not saying anything or implying, but you know, that's when the talk starts.
Yeah.
On, like how you have to conduct yourself as a young girl or whatever. So those were conversations we were having young, but it was always at different stages of her growth that I would intervene and bring these stuff up.
I think it also
100%,
depends on like from generation to generation, because as I said before, my parents didn't really talk about that stuff with me, and I wasn't really interested in that stuff to start with. But the school, we learned at such a young age though. Our teachers started talking about that stuff in primary school, year 6.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Oh, originally Ugandan.
Okay, Uganda.
And they taught us in primary school, and it's
What
like
happened in Uganda?
no, here,
that was here, yeah? Whereabouts here?
I grew up in West London.
Okay.
Yeah, and
School,
Mine was high school.
Yeah, I'm
high school
a
as well.
Gen Z. I'm 25. So like I think it's because of like the generation, things have changed. So when kids find out things more, then they feel like, okay, let's let it be taught. But then in secondary school, I went to a girls' school, so things like boys and like. It depends on each girl, but majority of the girls in our school weren't really like, you'd have to know someone from maybe a boys' school to then start getting into that kind of stuff. But
different for girls.
but when you go to a girls' school, it's not like we have our talks about it. We never really talk about that stuff, to be fair. So I think it's just case by case, because there's no one set age. But as for my older sister, I don't know if my parents discussed anything with her, or because she went to a mixed school as well, and the times were also different. But and because of now social media, because with me, I'm also a teacher in general, but I teach primary, and I know that they know certain things, and it's usually from TikTok and things like that. And
social media. It's crazy. My mum told me only briefly, but my mum didn't go too deep into it. She just said but my mum didn't really let me sleep over and the places or anything. I used to be like, "Mommy, please, I want to go sleep at my friend's house," but she just didn't. I actually had to sometimes be like to my friends, "Oh, just get your mum to call my mum to see if I can." It was seriously, but I know why she's trying to protect me from outside. But now it's crazy out there right now, and social media does not help at all. I feel like, I know some people maybe feel like, "Oh my God, why are you saying this, Tan?" But I'm being 100. I feel like there should be a certain time, like age limit for when kids should go on social media. I honestly think that's just my opinion.
There is, because my son, all his friends are on Fortnite and stuff like that. He's like saying, "Oh, Mum, please, I'll do this, I'll do that." He's not. It's 12. You have to be on Fortnite.
I feel like kids always try and find a way.
Yeah, especially if your parent gives like when sometimes parents give their
sorry. Play Fortnite. So you can play, but. Because you're here with your cousins, you can play it, but we're not getting it on your...
Because they're talking to people in there as well. They are.
It's true. Yeah,
because parents give iPads out. Like, sometimes... And I don't fault parents for doing that, because sometimes you have to, like, maybe you're cooking, maybe you have things to you want to entertain your child in the process of doing what you do, and then sometimes they may find out through the iPad and so sometimes sometimes can be hard to avoid.
I think so. I feel like with my kids, like, they can't download anything. Everything's linked to my phone. Like, my daughter tried to download. She tried to download. What did she download again? What was it? It was something she tried to download. Snapchat. It came straight to my phone. I called it straight away. Get off. Like, I'm not accepting it. Straight away.
I love that.
Straight away. My kids.
That's good as a parent.
I didn't know that was a feature. I love that.
I had to. All of my kids. Obviously, my kids are in high school, so I had to just make sure that everything's linked to my phone. If I disapprove, they can't get onto anything. I make sure everything's linked. I do that even now. I do that. I don't play about that, because I'm trying to keep my kids young.
That's your iPhones, isn't it?
That's good.
Yeah, and Android. So I went play, and then she'd be like, "Mommy, please." And I was like, "No."
They give you that guilt trip.
Nope. Yeah, because everything's parental lock. Even like the TV, certain stuff. I don't play certain channels and that.
Even the internet.
Like,
it has to be.
Yeah.
Something it knocks you out.
Yeah.
Like, there was a scenario where something happened, and I was on my phone because my son doesn't have a phone, but my old phone, I'm in the kitchen and I watch Netflix.
Oh, okay.
So he has that phone.
Okay.
But he was like, I've got a phone, but can people call you though? So one of his cousins was around, and then something popped up. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Who done this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, not me. Not everyone's like, so I'm like, someone done it. All I've got to say is that whatever you do, I'm gonna see it because it's gonna come up because it's linked.
Yeah,
I like that.
It has to, because sometimes my friends, my kids' friends would be like, oh, but no, well, when my sons will come up to me and be like, oh, mummy, but you know, so and so can do this. I said, that's them. You're my child.
Exactly.
You're my child. Yeah.
Kids do that, man.
No, don't try that. Don't try and make me feel bad for me protecting you. Like, no, because kids don't have no stranger danger. They don't have it. Do you see what I mean?
Kids are genius. They're proper genius.
Even the trackers. even the trackers. Like, literally, even the trackers. I don't play. Literally, even the trackers. I do that. Sorry, I have to. Obviously, my son's obviously my oldest is 17. Do you see what I mean? But even him, all of my kids can talk to me. It's about making them feel comfortable to talk to me. I don't want my kids to hide away and be sneaky. I want them to feel comfortable. Do you see what I mean?
Even at times they will be.
Yeah.
In like, I don't know if it's tuition or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always something. Even if there's like a little attitude coming from my daughter, I'm like, yeah, something's up.
Yeah.
It's changed.
Mum will always know.
Mom,
So I'm always sitting there trying to think, how are you going to do this? And before you know it, I come with the question, is everything all right? Yeah, everything's all right. Are you sure? So and then she's like, what's happened? And then everything comes out. Do you get me? So there ain't no hiding at all.
That's a good relationship.
Yeah.
It's a good relationship.
It's really good.
Yeah. I think it's needed.
Been hard work. Don't get me wrong. It ain't been easy.
The reason I say that is because I dealt with all of my stuff on my own. My parents didn't even know the kind of stuff that I went. There's some stuff that I went through that they still don't even know to now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I say it's a good relationship that you have with your daughter, that she's able to like open up and even have them emotional times with you. Like, as far as my parents were concerned, they thought I was okay, but I was dealing with some real drama and trauma.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even a situation I got myself into, they don't even know a situation that I got myself into, and I come out of that situation like, and I can't get into it too much. But
you feel comfortable talking to them about it now? Or?
My mum found something out because I had to do a talk. Some company got me to this talk where they sold tickets, where I had to tell my story, but also tell the story of the kind of stuff, the documentaries and stuff that I've done. And my mum had just come. My mum and dad live in Barbados, but they were in the country at the time. I said, "Mum, you might as well come. I'm doing this talk." So as I'm doing the talk, I can't even forget that she's there because I'm just going through it. And something that so basically one of the things I'll tell you this bit. One of the things that I said is that when I was younger, there's a certain period of my life when I used to leave my house and I would kiss my mum on the head before I leave. My mum always thought, oh, my son's really sweet. Like, you know, he kisses me before he leaves. She didn't realize the reason I was doing that is because I knew that with the things that was going on and the things that I was keeping up with, that on any of those days, somebody could take my life. And I wanted the last thing that she remembered is me kissing her on her forehead before I left, because I thought that would be a nice gesture for her to have with me in case anything happens to me. But she never knew that. And so she's in the back there thinking, what? And she starts bawling and everything. There, you get me? But yeah, it's good to have them open relationships. And with my children, I would love to have that kind of open relationship as well, because I think there was probably too much trauma that I was carrying, and probably still do carry from a very young age, that isn't healthy. And I think it manifested for me in a lot of anger, because I spent a lot of time having to do anger management when I was younger. Had to go through like a lot of anger classes and anger exercises to help me deal with the anger that I was, and that anger probably came as a result of some of the things that I had been through that I didn't deal with.
They're holding on to.
And was that from just being on road and?
Yeah, being on road. I think those elements. I think being on road, the kind of things, because you need to understand, like when my age group, when we were growing up in where we're from, like in Harsden, in Brent, in that area, like we had some of the highest knife crime and gun crime in the whole city. Like we were growing up in a war ground. Like somebody was shot in the head outside my front door. Like that was normal.
God.
You know what I mean? Like, and I remember I had to sign in with the police just to get down to my road. You know what I mean? Like we were like the divisions that unfortunately still stay to now were started around the same time when I was a young teenager, and they just ended up becoming hugely violent. Down the road from my yard, an estate called John Buck Estate, a boy that I used to go to school with, someone came there to try and kill him, and he ended up killing them. And then so more drama within that little less than a mile radius.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Crazy.
It was a lot going on. So
Yeah.
and even though for us we weren't like we went out and go like scared, something's gonna happen. It wasn't like that. This was just our surrounding. But I think being aware of what you're in, seeing high levels of violence very early, and then if I'm really honest with you as well, it was my parents trying to hold me, which also made me frustrated. Like my curfew was always earlier than everybody else's.
Mine as well. Mine as well.
I couldn't stay over. Everyone just here chilling to a late time. If I'm staying too late, mum's coming out on the roadside driving, trying to find me. Like, you know what I mean? It was embarrassing as a young man, especially a young man who was like, you know what I mean? And so I think combination of all of those things, and I think also maybe if I'm really honest with you as well, I think maybe also it was me trying to, because I was intelligent, but I was suppressing the intelligence. So I think there was so much that I wanted to say and do, but I didn't want to speak up my voice and make people feel silly, stupid or inadequate. I was keeping that in, I was keeping the emotion in, I was keeping the frustration in, and before you know it, and I always tell people, suppression will always at some point lead to depression. So you have to let that go.
100%. I agree, and that's what I normally talk on radio is, the topic was to do with like, in terms of like men, like we feel like some men literally kind of, because I know quite a few men that have gone through depression and they feel like there's no platform or anywhere where they can talk and let openly, or there's people that they can't really trust, so they just hold everything in. So what I was saying is that I feel like there needs to be more support, more workshops, more help out there for men. Do you see what I mean? Because what I was saying to my co-host is that I feel like for like the government more caters to us women. Do you see what I mean? There's more support for us women. There's not much support for men. So your story, I've heard that like quite a lot of people said it. It's very, very common. Do you see what I mean? And it's sad that it's that way. It's just full of survival mode.
But
do you see
then
what I mean?
as well for like parents.
Yeah.
Like I guess your parents didn't mean to have a hold on you. It's just that they were just fearful.
Yeah.
Was it that you didn't feel safe to tell them stuff, or you didn't want to bother them or worry them?
Do you know what it is? All right, I think there's one side to it was that they were already so strict. I didn't want to give them the full reality.
More strict. Yeah,
I see.
And then I think also as well, they're from a different generation. Like my dad is quite big. My dad is turning 79 in a few. In a week or so, or 2 weeks. So he's turning 80 next year. So you can imagine as a young man, he was an older man as well. So he's a different generation. Mum not so old, but mum kind of follows suit with my dad. And so what I think it is that different generational understanding of how things are, it just led to constant conflict. And my dad is a very ignorant Bajan man as well. Sorry, Dad, if you ever see this. But he's a very ignorant Bajan man as well. So it's like, I'll try to, and the thing is, I'm quite eloquent. So I'm trying to break down things to him in a way that is not condescending, but at the same time clear. But he's not trying to hear it, because he thinks he knows everything. But how things were in the 70s,
it's changed.
So much has changed.
Massive.
You know what I mean? So it's a few things.
But I just feel like it's like, in terms of like your mum cradling you and everything, it's so many kids would love that. So many kids would love their parent to be so hands-on.
Even having two parents, like in my circle, I was the only person with like a 2-parent household. Apart from one other person, but his dad died recently, rest in peace. But in my circle, I was the only person really with a 2-parent household, and sometimes I used to hate it because I'm like, I've got these two like wrestlers that slag each other in. You know what I mean? Like I can't get a little
tag team.
She's doing another job, so the house is free. He's got a free yard. I never got a free yard because someone's always there. So I used to hate it certain times. But actually, in retrospect, I was very lucky.
But do you look back now, like now that you're a parent, would you look back now and think you understand what your mum and dad was trying to do?
I had to be honest. Somebody asked me about like my success and my story and what do you put it down to, and this is the first time I've done that. But when I actually sat down, when they asked me that question, and when I really think about it, it's probably down to my parents. It's down to my parents. The fact that they were onto me how they were onto me, the fact that they were trying to stagnate my quest into full-fledged road man. I think that is a major reason why some decisions were made and why I went in the direction I did, because there were certain times in my life as well where it's like, oh, should I go this way? But then I could hear like the echo of certain things that they said in my head. Also, I used to like make decisions based on, is it worth the licks? That's worth the licks still. I'm gonna go to the party. You know what I mean? I had to weigh it up. When I really think about it, like they're I guess it didn't seem like it at the time, but their care for what I am, for what I'm doing and who I am is what kind of maybe swayed me in certain directions. Like I had a certain type of way of being. Like even though I was bad in school, but I would come home, I would do my homework. Like no one told me to do my homework. I just had to do it because I just used to come and do homework and I bathe, eat, and then I'm back outside, whatever I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think maybe just due to the structure of what they had on me, that just became second nature. So even when I went to university, it was the same thing. Like deadlines wasn't a thing to me because I was just used to doing it. The reason I was doing it in school is because I got in so much trouble in school. I didn't want them to have anything more to get me in trouble for. So at least
let me compensate.
And so and they also made some sacrifices for me as well that I have to be thankful for. So when I really weigh it up, it probably is down to mum and dad why I was able to pivot, go to university as a very street-minded young man, but leave university with a first-class honours degree, which was really
congrats.
Which was really against good. People, and then come out and then end up within the next 3-4 years finding myself on TV, which was unexpected as well. Like the teachers, I know they were pissed.
So they could make it.
They couldn't believe it. God bless them.
No, I think that's really good though. Yeah. That's why I just feel like us as parents is so scary. Like the times we live in right now is so scary, because there's time when my mom would be like, oh, you guys are like lucky. Like the way the world is right now, it's like she obviously, my gran was very like old school Jamaican woman, and she literally did it really like, she cradled my mum as well. So my mum obviously did that to me, and obviously I do that to my kids, because obviously how things are is actually crazy right now, and the stories that you hear, and literally the stabbings and all of that. Do you see what I mean? So that's what I always say to my kids, like the way they are, they're very, how do I say it? Like in terms of me, they know that I'm very, mum's just a go-getter, mum's just doing her best. Mum just, teach them, because I do obviously make sure that I teach them how to think. Don't be a follower. Have your own mind. Do you see what I mean? Don't be a follower. Be your own, like have your own mind. But there's so much, like so many, distractions out there. So back to me, I'm going to answer my own question that I said to you. I said, you see, in terms of like, friends, well, when my kids have their partners and all that, no sleeping over. No, it's not going to happen. It's just not going to.
I agree with that.
It's just not.
I never did it. I don't want my kids to do that.
I remember mum and my dad had to. My granddad would say, it's late now. You have to go. And he had to go home, regardless if we were there or not. They hadn't bought their house. They hadn't bought their house yet. But he had to do it.
He's alive.
No, he just.
Wish he was. I'd love to talk to him. He's a real one.
It's like my mum even told me that story, and I was like, really? But you already had Archie. He said, it was the rules of the house.
Yeah.
And they ain't sleeping over.
Yeah.
And then my dad had to pick it up at 1 o'clock and go home. In the morning, and go home. And I rate that because now there's not enough.
It's become too loose now. It's too loose. But like, I sorry to interrupt you, but I always say to people, like, I feel like some of those traditional morals and structures, that is what that it kept us in a certain way. And I feel like, not to discredit this country, because there's positives that this country has given to us as well. But I feel like with us being here, like, I'll break it down to you like this, Think about Granny's rice and peas, Think about Mummy's rice and peas. Still kind of good.
That's a good analogy. That's a perfect way to describe it.
It just bulk can make it. You get me? So it's like, it's the same thing with our tradition and our culture. It's like they were strong with our grandparents. They were still quite strong with our parents, but naturally, because we are amalgamated into this culture here, we are British Caribbean.
Yeah.
So our culture.
My rice and peas is good, but it's not every Sunday. Not every Sunday you get the rice and peas.
My grandson
can come over and get food.
My
just won't hit the same.
Was so nice you could eat it by itself.
Yeah, trust me.
My rice and peas, you might can want it as a side. It's alright. It tastes good. The coconut cream is.
Yes.
You see me? I use the coconut cream and coconut milk.
Yeah, definitely.
It's bagging still.
Yes.
But not like Granny's.
And the gravy and thing. Yeah, trust me, every single Sunday without fail. Obviously having to grow up being in the kitchen from young.
Yeah, 100%.
Literally from young, you
It was
see.
my granddad that taught us how to make ackee and saltfish. Yeah, because he had his day of cooking. And it wasn't just down to my gran. Like,
Oh, that's nice.
I'm glad
though.
I had the experience to grow up with my grandparents, you know?
Yeah.
Not a lot of people have that.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I don't have no
Okay.
family in this country. No. So that's why I say to you, I was raised in a very Caribbean way. Like it was my mum and my dad. Had a little one uncle. But then but I used to get sent to Barbados every year for like about 6 to 7 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
That's good then.
they were trying to straighten me out. But it was also excitement for me because that's where I really get to see my family. So when
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go see my gran or my cousins. I'm like, right, it must be nice. Because in England, I didn't have that. My mum and dad was my family. It's a very small family. Like when you have like family parties, very small. It's mostly family friends and 1, 2 distant or people that you call cousins that are not really cousins. And so for me, I didn't have that. Like I didn't, and that's something that I feel like I missed. And like when I remember when I went, do you know what? My godbrother worked for British Airways, and one year we managed to go to Barbados for like £100 and something, yeah, because he worked for them, and then we got to go like, was it business class as well? We all were like, I put on a brown blazer, everything there. I was, and then like, but it was nice because I'm so grateful to my godbrother for that because that was a chance to go and see my grandmother, and actually she died shortly after that, and my auntie died shortly after that as well. And so that trip wasn't meant to be, but it ended up being a very important trip because it allowed me to see some of my family members who I love so dearly, who unfortunately I lost. And within the last couple of years, it's like everyone's dropping out. I've lost probably like since that COVID thing, I've lost probably about 6, 7, 8 family members. Like my family's just depleting, so I might have to build it back up and make my own.
Would you ever have you ever thought about moving over there?
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of going to get my Barbados passport. I got Barbados citizenship.
Okay.
I got Barbados citizenship. I'm going to go get my Barbados passport as well. My sister was living over there. I think my sister might possibly be moving back in the next year or so. And so I'm going to get my citizenship. Well, I've got my citizenship. I'm going to get my passport. In terms of living over there, I think my career is at a precipice right now. It's like it's on an upward trajectory and there's a lot of things happening, and I feel like I need to be here, and I'm gonna have to go to America at some point as well.
That's amazing.
So I got to do some work stuff first, but then I'd like to go back home and just
relax.
Do like Rihanna. When you go home, you got Rihanna Road. I want them to have like an ARB. Put my road there. Yes. Big up Rihanna though, by the way, because we're proud of her. We're proud of her.
So in terms of parenthood, what would you say is kind of, how would I say, what has being a parent taught you most? What have you learned most about being a parent?
Patience. Even though I work with kids as well, I have patience for them. But when it's at home,
my daughter actually said that to me.
Yeah, the patience ain't quite there with my own son, but I've learned that I have to still give him that patience like I would any other kids that I work with at work, So patience. And just to trust him as well, that he knows he's a good kid.
Yeah, he is. He's such a sweetheart. He is.
Mine as well is patience, because I never had any much. Well, I didn't. And she was like, "Mum, I can't believe you. How come you've got all these patience with all these other kids, but when it comes to me, it's like you don't have patience with me?" And that hit home. She's taught me so much about myself, and for me to kind of look at it and address myself in my private space. It's good because she's taught me how to be a better parent. Because obviously, I believe my mum was a good parent and my dad was a good parent.
Yeah.
But there were certain things that, they could have did better at. But their day and age wouldn't admit to us that you know, but I can always look back and say, you know what, yeah, you're right, I could have did better, whatever. No, I will do better. I'm going to have more patience with you. So she's taught me patience. She's taught me how to examine myself, to be flexible with reason, because there's a lot of things that I know I couldn't have done, but then I've allowed her to do it at a time where I think that she has been mature, that she's reached that maturity.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think
Good. You?
I think being a parent teaches you about selflessness. I think as human beings, I think naturally our inclinations to be quite, even if you don't mean to, but to be quite self-centered, to put yourself first. Having a child flips that completely on its head. There's now a little being or little beings that are the priority at all times. Yeah. And I think a big thing as well is, which is quite a beautiful thing, is being able to, how can I put this? Being able to enjoy through their enjoyment, or being able to get happiness through their happiness. There's nothing that I'm doing right now that is of any interest to me, but because it's of interest to you and you're loving it, I'm enjoying it. You know what I mean? It's like their happiness brings you happiness, and that's a beautiful thing. And also, I think it also brings out the hustler and the grinder in us.
Yeah, it definitely.
You know what I mean? I don't know about you guys, but I was a freelancer. As a freelancer, we know how to go through a rough patch because we're used to it. So we know, do you know what? It's rough right now, so I'm going to have to just cut back a little bit. I'm going to have to just But when you got a child, there's no rough patch. You got to make sure you're getting it at all times because that nursery needs to be paid. Those things need to be bought. And all the rest of it. So, I think for me, selflessness, being able to enjoy through their eyes, and also really leveling up to be a provider and to make sure that your responsibilities are taken care of in the fullest of possible ways. You know what I mean? And that's what it means for me. And love as well. Love is so beautiful.
Unconditional.
It's love, I don't think you know love
it just brings
truly until you're
Yeah.
a parent.
Yeah, 100%.
That's different. It's like, right, I love you more than I love myself. I just love you, and you're getting on my nerves, but I love you differently. It's crazy. It's beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I'd say it's like selflessness and just cherishing all the moments, every single moment, because it's so fragile. Life's so fragile, and it's just seeing how quick they grow. So it just flies by, from when I was born to now. And definitely patience and just spending as much time and just building so many memories. And really learning about your kids. Do you see what I mean? And being that, that we'll do anything for our kids. They are our everything. And just being a go-getter. And they gave me, even though I was always that person that kind of, go for what I want, but they've given an extra push. Even without, it's so crazy that our kids motivate us even without them realizing it. They motivate us. They put that we're doing this for our kids. You see what I mean? So that's what I'd say.
No, I can relate to that because with me, in my family, I was the youngest. So I had no experience of looking after anybody. I was the one that was looked after. I was the baby. So when I became a parent, and I became a parent quite young, in my first year of uni, that's when I became a parent. So I was 19 at the time. So that gave me an extra oomph to do well in uni, get a good job and everything. So it really taught me that hustle, as you both were saying, but also discipline. Because of me, even because my main job is I'm a teacher. So in my first year of teaching, I was very lenient with the children because I wanted them to like me. And I'm like, and you know how parents can be protective of their children. So I didn't want to step on any parent's toes. But then sometimes that can get you a bit disrespected when you, so especially when you're a young teacher, they say, oh, okay, we can get away with this. So that first year of teaching, and then also having my own son, that's what made me think, oh, okay, discipline. And it's not coming from a place of I'm trying to be tough, but in a place of you're trying to raise a person who's going to be, well equipped into society.
100%,
so it taught me that, but still the love element and everything. And it's honestly unconditional love. Because if anyone was to be rude to me now, I don't like it, but then when it's your children, it's I love you so much, but so it is that love. love element, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay then, so I have another scenario. This one's actually, I'll read it out. you guys ready? Let's get the time. Okay, it's a long one. This got sent to me, yeah? Okay. A man and a woman have been together for many years. They've been married, yeah? They've got kids. One day, the husband said he wanted to divorce the wife, yeah? He wanted to leave her, yeah? He went to a younger woman, yeah? So the divorce happened. So now the wife has moved on with her life, yeah? Years later, the kids said to the mum that the dad has cancer, yeah? And doesn't have enough time. So he's at the last stages, yeah? The kids have said that the mum has to look after him. Wait, we'll get there. The mum has to look after him, yeah? And it's very aggressive. The cancer's very aggressive, yeah?
God bless him.
He agrees. He says, yeah, you've got to look after me, yeah? Wait, yeah, take a second. And she says, and he says, oh, put the past behind, but put the past in the past. All that happened, just forget about it, yeah? She says, no, the kids have sided with the dad, saying, no, mum, come on, man, that's Pops, look after him. She says, no.
Do we know the age of the kids?
They are, what's it? Hold on, I think it's 19. Is it 19?
But how long were they married for?
They was married for years. So she says no. She's just like, nah, it's not happening. You made your bed, you lie in it. That's what she said. Yeah, what are we saying?
Wait, so is he now? Did he not leave the wife for a younger woman?
Yeah.
So why is the younger woman not wanting to look after him?
Yeah. So this is just what God said.
The younger woman's gone.
Yeah, we don't know where the.
Oh,
this is what God said.
Money done, so she done. 2 multiplied by 10 plus 1.
Yeah, so what are we saying? Who's going to kick this off? Aaron?
Why are you coming to me?
Go on.
All right. What's the wedding?
I know he's going to process. I know he's processing.
The wedding vows do say through sickness and health.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think...
Sickness in health. When married, though. When married, sickness in health.
Yeah, but it didn't say they divorced. He just left.
No,
So
they divorced.
they're
They're divorced.
Okay.
Yeah, they divorced.
I think in life, yeah, and I've had to learn this as well. In life, sometimes you have to be accountable and you have to deal with the decisions that you make.
100.
And so therefore, no matter how bad your situation may be, you chose to hurt somebody. And just because now you're in a situation where you're hurting in the ultimate way doesn't mean that person can forgive the hurt that you inflicted upon them. So I think, to be honest, he's a bit bright, even asking her to look after him. I understand he's in a ailing situation, but I completely understand why the woman would be like, no. I think maybe what I think would be the best thing in that situation is some sort of compromise. So maybe she could be in some way supportive, maybe through her children, and maybe she could, I don't know, make sure that there's some food that can go to him or something, but she can't be there by his side holding his hand after he's hurt her like that. I think that's way too expectant of him, and it's also a little bit insulting
Cheeky,
and rude.
cheeky.
Yeah, it's a bit cheeky.
Cheeky.
You get me? But I think I was talking to somebody about this the other day. I was saying to someone, because there's someone in an extended family to me whose mother has passed away, and since their mother's passed away recently from a similar illness, she has been acting up a certain way to the family around her that have been very supportive of her up to that point. And what I was trying to say to them is that, look, do you know what? We have to understand sometimes when people are hurting in that way through losing someone, we do need to give them a little bit of an allowance to allow them to process their emotions. But at the same time, you do expect at least a certain bit of respect for the people who have been supportive to you and tried to help you. But it's a very hard thing. Like, those type of situations are very difficult. I think it's very easy for us to judge if we're not in them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But me as a man, if I was him, I made my choice. I had a good little time with the young thing. I got to stand by the decision that I made, and I realized that now I'm on my own.
Yeah.
That's what it is, you know. Born alone, die alone. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm just confused why it has to be her specifically, because like he already left her, so it's like I don't know if it's a case of like they divorced and then they never spoke again, or did they co-parent, or I don't know what the situation was. But it almost feels as though he left her for a younger woman. The younger woman left him. So it's like, I need someone who I can fall back on. And then it makes you question, like, is it because, you know, you genuinely value your ex-wife, or is it just, you're the easiest to go back to, who can help me, a free caretaker, if you will, you know? So I don't know.
Men are like that, though.
I don't know what the intention is.
I think there's something wrong with us. Like, we have this territorial understanding. We feel like once we've had you once, we can have you forever. Yeah. And it's not right. Just because I had you that one time doesn't mean that I always have access to you. But men seem to have that kind of mentality. Not to tarnish all my men or my mandems like name and reputation, but I do see it a lot. It's like, for instance, me and you were together one time, and we were together like 5-6 years ago. I see you again. Yeah, man. I'm in my head, I'm thinking, but that's still my. But it's
like a form of entitlement, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the word. Entitlement.
A lot of things happened by that time. You might not even like light-skinned brothers no more. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I might put her off for life. But we have something inside our mind that makes us think that once we've had access to you once, we can have access to you. But it doesn't go like that, and I think it's important for us men to know that as well. Just because there was something historically doesn't mean that you have access continuously. It doesn't go like that, and I think that's where he is right now. He's thinking, I had kids with you. You know, we spent life together. But bro,
if the roles were reversed, do you think he would take care of her?
I don't think
if she had cancer, would he? You know.
But then I think it's a different thing. Just turning it around a bit, like for example, she had kids with him. So if she's had kids with him, she's gonna, and they're hurt because they're hurting now because their dad's going through something. As a mother or whatever, you're gonna kind of feel their pain and just maybe help. Not to the extent that he wants, but you're gonna be there.
A little compromise.
Yeah.
That's what
he wants to move into the house. He wants to move in. Get rid of his house. He will look after him.
He won't be moving into the
hospice
house.
thing.
Hospice thing.
Yeah.
Or the picnic can move in.
I don't have the requirements for that. I'm not a nurse.
To support that, but not to move into my
kids want him to move in.
I will have my. Remember, you left me for.
So your new thing.
So you left me. So my husband's here. He ain't approving of this. So you can't come to my house.
We're going to come to you in a minute. You're saying?
You can't come to my house. You get me? It's cheeky that he even thought of that, just assuming that I'm just going to be
and make him to move in.
Exactly.
Yeah, because that's what makes me wonder if the roles were reversed. If she really needed him, would he be there for her?
I don't think so.
No, men, we're the worst. We can do something to you, but you do it to us. Oh no! I want forgiveness. I don't understand why I'm not getting forgiveness, but you do it. No way. We are. It's double standards.
Yeah. What about you, D?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be taking him back. I'll be supportive to my kid, depending on the age of the children as well.
Yeah.
If they can take care of daddy, move in with him, do your thing.
Yeah.
No, but okay. So, but the house? No, I've just got to keep with this. The house is gone now. He's got to get his house is gone. He's got to move in somewhere.
Why is the house gone?
Because he's at last end of the young king. You know,
the house.
Yeah, they want to protect the house. You know, at a certain point when a person's dying.
Because his house was social. Council.
Yes. So now he has to come somewhere. He needs someone to look after him now, and obviously because they were married. But I feel like from when you're divorced. You don't need, you're not entitled to. Don't feel like you're entitled anymore. Yeah. From when we've broken that vow, you chose to walk away.
It's a similar situation, isn't it? Someone's going through this, isn't it?
No.
Why? Too specific?
I swear someone said this to me, so that's why I'm just talking.
But then we don't know if someone's going through it.
But this is what was sent to me, so...
So you don't know if it's real or not?
No.
Okay.
But yeah.
You know a real answer?
What?
The dad Let the kids move in with the dad.
Yeah.
And get a place to
Your dad's carer.
That's right.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Yeah.
But do you know what? I don't
right.
think that would happen though. This day and age, you really reckon that would happen? The kids will
And then they move in.
the carer. Being a carer is a lot of work, you know. Being a carer.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lot of work.
But then
But they expect mum to do it.
Yeah. And he wants the mum to
And
do
the mum's
it
more
as
than
well.
likely working.
But the mum's like, nah, it's not happening. He made his bed, he has to lie in it. I say he's bright. I'm sorry, he's bright. Obviously, I wouldn't wish death on anyone.
Yeah.
Of course not. Obviously, it's going to break my heart to see the kids like that.
Compassion for him.
To see the kids. So I'll be feeling sorry for the kids. Do you see what I mean? And obviously, that he's going through that.
She might look on it and he ain't got long, so
But-
come back.
And it's good karma. It's good, like for.
What if she helps him in that way then?
But cooking a little food now and again.
But what if she helps him in a way?
Cooking anyway.
Like, what if she helps him by hiring? What if she helps him by hiring someone else to take care of him in someone else's way?
She's still
A
making
younger
it.
woman as well.
Yeah.
Relax them.
Imagine it's the woman that looks just like the one.
No, but then it's I don't know. I think that's dread though. Like to just pull it on the woman.
Yeah, no.
And it's been years, you know.
Depends on the woman.
Imagine she has a boo now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Let's
drama.
spice it up. Imagine she has her boo now.
Yeah,
Okay,
more
what
than
are you
likely
saying? What are you saying about this scenario?
Oh, make him move in with the kids.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Get counsel properly.
Yeah.
The council will support him as he's in palliative care.
Yeah.
The council will get him a house. He's moving with the kids as a carer.
But it's a short amount of time, you know.
I don't think they will though, you know. I think they'll put him
not
in some
end of
sort of
life.
hospice. They'll put him in some sort of end of life.
Yeah, when it's end of life.
Yeah. Which is fine as well. The kids can go there every day.
What could she do if he's dying? No respect. Isn't the hospice the best place for him? if
Yeah.
he's actually dying?
Yeah, what could she
100%.
do?
With medical.
She couldn't do anything.
All round.
You lot are giggling too much though. My man's dying. You lot are like,
I mean, she doesn't have the credentials to help him anyway.
you know how them getting so wicked.
Not on that level.
Nah, but to be honest though, if I'm really honest, that women carry the weight of the world on their shoulders a lot. Like there's a lot of expectancy on women to have to always hold down everything. Like even us as black men, we expect you lot to like hold us down so much.
Yeah.
But we don't hold you down half as much as we should do. So at some point you gotta start standing up.
Yeah,
It's true.
that's refreshing to hear.
A lot of erroneous ways have made me see sense and logic. You get me? And so what I'm saying is I feel like it's only right that women can stand up and say, do you know what, enough is enough, innit?
Yeah.
Like, we hold you down, we support you through your mistakes, we give you chances, you know what I mean? We stand up for you over and over again. At some point it's like, yo, it's too much.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
me? I gotta live my life now and go get myself a young thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, that's why she's probably thinking, go back to the woman, innit?
Yeah.
Go back
But then
to
it
the girl.
she might want to help him. You never know.
It depends, innit? It's just when she said when I got this scenario, I was like, this is a good one.
Yeah, with big stamina.
Yeah.
And Jaquan's got big stamina as well.
What are you doing, Jaquan?
One stupid. Yeah. Oh, we can't even move, but Jaquan coming in with the energy. You get me? It's no contest, blood. You get me? Jaquan win, man.
Yeah, that's a crazy one. Yeah, but I don't think she's wrong in how she's feeling.
No.
Yeah.
It depends on the woman. It depends on the woman, to be
Yeah.
honest. Some women be like, okay, give you a little food, but not all the time.
But you know,
now it's come her
if we're
problem.
really honest though, if this really happened in real life, you know what would happen, innit? You know there'll be about 60% of women that would help.
Yeah.
It would only
Yeah.
be 40%.
I think so.
It would only be
They
about
would do it
40%.
for the kids.
And that's it.
Yeah. That's what it says, only for the kids.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the kids might be getting on at her like,
Yeah.
Mom, how can you do that? You were together for 20 years
Yeah.
before he went to the
'cause
young
it's just
thing.
like my mum and dad, they split up. But like some Christmases, we would beg our mum, oh, can dad come round? She's like, okay, go on then. But she's doing it for us.
Yeah,
Then he'll
yeah.
be spending Christmas maybe by himself if he's
Yeah.
not, like at the times when he didn't have a girlfriend or whatever. He would come round.
Mum's a good woman, man.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I think it will be for the kids, definitely, because no one's gonna want, see obviously the ex,
And also there's an
Think that.
expiry date as well. You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
don't usually have an expiry date.
Yeah.
When you got one, you know what I mean?
It's true.
I don't mind keeping it in my fridge. Look, like I know it's going off next week. You know what I mean? There's an expiry date, like, so it's not going to be forever. So she knows at some point they're going to take him out and put him in a bag, and you know what I mean? He's going to go. Sorry to be so crass about it.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
100.
It's the truth.
Time goes quicky. Isn't it? Time goes quick. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. Right now, I did have another one, but we're going to wrap it up.
No, do it quickly. Go on.
It's a long one, you know.
It's long. Okay.
No, it's a long one.
I was going to say do it nice and quick, but
no, this is
what
a
was
long.
it about?
It's actually
is it juicy.
It is a good one.
Go on, just give it quickly.
It is a
Everyone
good one.
Everyone has 15 seconds
It is a good one
to talk about it.
Okay, so oh god, I've got just like real quick, yeah. Okay, so it's couple Mark and Emma, yeah. They're together, yeah. They've been together for many years. Emma doesn't like the family, yeah. So she's been deleting his messages, silences his phone, blocks all of his loved ones, yeah.
She's gangster.
Yeah, blocked all of his bloody hell, it's mad. She's crazy. Okay, one day Mark is told about the passing of his grandmother through a friend in a local store. Mark realizes that Emma had blocked all his messages from all his family.
Oh, she blocked it on his phone.
Yeah, she knew all the passcode, everything.
Nah, she done that.
She blocked everything. Yeah.
That's
Mark confronts her at home. She says she's sorry that she did it, but yeah, she's sorry that she did it. Yeah. But Emma says she's sorry that she did it and that his friends and family were preventing them from being together. Yeah, because the family don't like her. So that's why she did it, yeah? Mark starts to shout at her and like, is very like, just demanding her to leave, yeah? His family's very angry and disappointed at him, yeah? And since one of the last things the grandmother wanted was to see him. Aww. Yeah, the ex tells his friends what happened, and their friends are saying what he did was wrong, but he shouldn't have threatened her. Was he in the wrong?
What? For threatening her to get out?
Like he was threatening to bruck her up, innit?
Well, we don't ever do that.
This was sent again. This was sent again. Stop get sent to me. This was sent to me.
We don't ever put our hands on her feet.
I don't know. It was just sent. This is all I've got. So we just have to like kind of just,
Listen,
you know.
I grew up with some dangerous girl, yeah? And they used to put hands on man. You get me?
Oh my God.
And never in my life did I ever put my hands on them. So first of all, let's just cut that one out. We don't justify putting our hands on women ever. Second of all, she's wrong. You don't do that. Like the thing about them situation, that happens a lot. People's family don't like girls. It happens a lot, but give it time.
Yeah.
Usually what happens is at some point they come round. They have to get to know you.
Yeah.
So she's in the wrong, and get rid of her as well because you don't do that. Like family, if it's friends you don't like, you blocking them.
Different.
It's still an invasion of privacy.
Invasion of privacy.
It could be excused a bit more, but family. That's wrong.
Yeah, and it's not even just the invasion of privacy, but also it's a form of control. Like I control this, and you know, if you're in a exactly, because if you're a couple, you know, you're equals. You know, it's not like I have control over him, and you know. Yeah,
I think it's toxic. Like she's toxic, definitely a toxic individual.
It could be an indicator of something worse that can go down the line. Like now, I don't want you to be
right that a girl has the pin for their partner's phone.
No, but blocking everyone.
She has to go in the phone.
But do you know what? I feel like if you're with someone, I think you should trust them. If you're with someone,
I don't think it's necessary.
I feel like if you're in a relationship,
it's not necessary.
I think it's
because we need to talk about you lot sometimes.
go ahead now.
No, I hear it. We're all human, you know.
Yeah, again, blood. You know, the dish is still in the sink. You know, like we need to have those conversations with our friends. Yeah.
No, I hear that. Yeah.
Nothing too rude.
It's like girls with the group chats.
You put your idiot with 6 E's. That's about as far as it goes. It doesn't go ruder than that. Yeah. But I think the bigger thing here is that I hear you. For me, that was neither here nor there. I think it's just it's the act of what she did.
Yeah,
which was quite.
That's very controlling.
And
100%.
that kind of thing is something that's irremovable in life now. His grandmother's gone. She wanted to see him and she couldn't see him.
Yeah,
and now
there's no going back. When you do stuff like that, I just think that that's so wrong, man.
Yeah,
like there's no going back, and and it seems like clearly the grandmother and him had a bond. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
That was
Close,
my
like, oh my God, yeah, man.
I would be fuming.
Maybe that's why. Maybe they could sense that there was a bit of dominance, control.
Because she weren't ratted.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you can't see it. Oh, but she's nice.
Yeah. Because when you're in love, your eyes are rose tinted
We don't
glasses.
see it. We just see the like the smile. And she dressed nice. She smells nice. But we forget they live longer than us. They've seen a lot of. They've seen a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So when that was a crazy one, boy. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, he shouldn't put his hands on her. Obviously, I don't ever condone.
Oh, yeah,
ever. But yeah, get rid of the gal still. But yeah, get rid of the gal. Yeah. Okay, she's controlling. She's toxic, and yeah, she's got to keep it moving.
And how can she feel good after
Yeah.
that? Like,
Yeah.
From what I
No apology.
I heard talk about him threatening her. He even put a hand on it. He said, "So my grandma died."
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like that.
You're
Thank
lucky I didn't.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that's what I. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't put hands on her. And when you're angry, you'll say all sorts of stuff when you're angry. Just don't do
Because I see it as the grandma died probably of a broken heart, like not seeing him, not seeing her grandchild, innit? Yeah, man. Yeah, that's sad, man. But yes, but we're not condoning any violence on here. Yeah. So yes, okay, so we're going to wrap it up, everyone. It's been like, thank you all for coming on. It's been amazing. Big up yourself, D. I want everyone to tag their pages and then, yes. Okay, go. You.
Oh,
yeah, sorry, you now. Go on.
It's all _that _ish ISH_.
Okay.
Off you onto yourself. Oh,
No.
yeah.
No.
At Aaron Roach Bridgman.
Okay.
Shan, #2, Win, on Instagram.
Divine Goddess, but the I is with a 1. So
Don't, all of your names will be underneath the episode, don't worry. And I'm glam with a Z.tan, and this is at the Talk Real Podcast. And yeah, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. More episodes on the way. Bye.
Bye.